This program is brought to you by the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. We provide the professional expertise, tools, and information necessary to help you make sound business decisions. Thank you to the U.S. Small Business Administration for co-sponsoring our program and to our host organization, the University of Kentucky. Contact us at 502-625-0123 to get started.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Dave Etkin. I am the Center Director in the Louisville Small Business Development Center. We are one of 17 centers across the Commonwealth, here to kind of help you. Today, we have a great resource joining us today, Erin Means from Constant Contact. You know, email marketing is probably one of the cheapest, but really one of the most effective ways to market your business, and it's often overlooked. So I'm glad that Erin's here to kind of walk us through a lot of tricks, tips. He's going to go online, and we're really going to dig into this a little bit. So I know you're as excited as I am, and as we go along, please, if you have any questions or comments or want some clarification as we walk through this, just put them in the chat there, and we'll certainly get to them. So just to make sure that you can hear us and you can see us okay, and the chat's working, go ahead and say hello, tell us your name and where you're joining from. Again, I'm Dave Etkin. I'm actually joining here from beautiful downtown Lexington, Kentucky, on the at the Starbucks on Broadway. So if you're in the area, stop in and see me. I'm out on the front deck. So Erin, how are you today?
I'm doing great, David. Thanks for having me back. Hello to everyone.
So email is probably the best and cheapest and the most overlooked way to market your business and really build a tribe of really devoted followers.
It absolutely is. And it's so funny to hold two titles, the most effective and the most slept on. So, exactly. You know, definitely anyone coming today can take email marketing, and in 2021, it's even easier than it's ever been, and make a real impact with their marketing, probably in ways they were hoping that may not be happening from other channels.
Well, I'm going to hand the steering wheel to you, and let's start driving through this thing.
Okay, sweet. Well, thanks again, David, and hello to everyone. We do want to encourage you once again to use the chat on the side panel, because I'm going to be reading that as I go. I'm going to shift to sharing my screen and just give a confirmation that my PowerPoint is coming through okay. And hopefully you're seeing my home screen of the PowerPoint. Let me pull up the okay, yeah. Super. Yeah. All right. Hey there, Mary. And Mary, were you on? I think I recognize your name from last month. And hey, Marshall, welcome. Welcome to everyone. If you want to click on the more option in your Zoom controls, you'll find chat, and then change your option to panelists and attendees, and we can chat together through this whole thing. Now, I'm only going to do a brief PowerPoint intro in the beginning. And really what David said, honestly, is the kernel of it, which is how incredibly important this is. Hey, Joe, welcome. And then I'm going to shift into the live demo and take you all through Constant Contact and give you some exact real-time examples of how to use the system, some ways to do marketing that have not even been available in the past years. And then some of my favorite tips that people that use email marketing and specifically Constant Contact may not even know are there. And then also I'm going to have time for Q&A as well. So please ask questions throughout, ask questions at the end, and we'll make sure that everybody leaves with all their questions answered. If that sounds good. We're going to get right into this, and just a brief 1 minute on my sort of history, so you have context as to why I'm even presenting this. I was in the sort of rat race up in DC for many years, and eventually got really into the internet about 12 to 15 years back. Wow. And started sort of working for myself, and packed the bags and took off for the hills, and landed in Asheville, North Carolina. So not too actually too terribly far from y'all. And was down here working for a few years online, sort of out in the forest, just, think of DC and then it's the opposite basically, right? And so I'm down here doing my thing, and my wife was previously a paralegal, and she turned that in and went to become a dog groomer and went to school and did all this stuff and well, I kept on her to start a small business, and finally she said, okay, I'll start a grooming business. And I quickly realized, and if you were on me in any past topic I've done, you've heard the story. I realized that I had not thought this entirely through, which is not uncommon in my marriage. I realized, oh man, she's going to go from 9 to 2 and hang out with the dogs and do all this fun stuff and do what she's good at and have the rest of the day. And who's going to do all the rest of the business management, including the marketing? Genius over here. So if you rewind the clock 10 years, you would actually find me in Brevard, which is a town of 5,000 people out here in the mountains, having never owned a small business, a brick and mortar service-based business. So I had to sort of bootstrap it and figure out what this meant marketing wise for a small business and what it looked like. And would you all believe I went to my own chamber of commerce and my own small business centers, and I went to their constant contact topics. I'm not making that up. I went as someone who knew marketing. I understood small business marketing is probably a little different. How do you build a list? How do you get in front of people? How do you get to market to people on their devices properly? So I went to learn, and I kept coming and asking the right questions. And eventually they said, stop coming. No, they said, hey, they chatted with the presenter at Gen I chatted, and she said, you've done some corporate training. So Constant Contact has this relationship with the SBC, the chambers of commerce, and the SCORE mentors, and we do events, we do training, and we need people. So the rest is history, y'all. And and that's actually how I started my company as well. So many people here in Brevard and throughout the Carolinas and throughout into Kentucky and all over the nation, small business owners and nonprofits need specific, clear guidance on where to spend your time to make an impact with your digital marketing. So I started my company Activate and began offering marketing services, and have been doing a few trainings a month, working with this awesome partner, the SBC. So thank you for having me again. And that might give you a little context as to, what's the Constant Contact angle and how does Aaron fit in. And so it's my pleasure to bring this to you today. And it also is, like David and I were talking about in the beginning, it's the most important, or can be the most important component of your digital marketing. And that really comes down to visibility. How you look, how you come across to people is really important, but even getting seen is the most critically important thing. And so the reason why email marketing is so effective, it's not a mystery. It's visibility. See, the whole internet really breaks down into websites, social media channels, and email inboxes. So as crazy as the internet is, it's really just small business. It's really just website, social media, and email inboxes. So whether you're a small business, a big business, a nonprofit, doesn't matter. This is the whole internet, is these three buckets. And so what happens is, because everything gets so crazy online and confusing, we think there's so much spinning out of control. Where do we spend our time? Well, if we know that these three buckets exist, then the question is, where do people spend their time? Because we want to talk to them there. And most people look at their smartphone in the first hour or so of the day. And they typically don't go to websites on their smart device without any sort of reason, right? So that's kind of a not applicable. Unless there's a reason, they don't go reload the front page of a website over and over, on their smartphone while they're having coffee. However, they do look at social media. Most people look at some sort of social media. Maybe if you're on here today and you're not them, sure. But the average person is looking at it. And then they're also looking at email multiple times throughout the day on a smart device in quick scanning glances. So then the final question to this is, if we know where they're looking and we go there, will they see our stuff, our marketing, our updates, our posts? Or the answer is not applicable on the website, because they're not going to go to your homepage and refresh for no reason. There needs to be context. Social media, statistically, they won't, which is kind of painful every time I have to say it, but statistically, they won't see your posts, your Facebook, your Insta. I mean, that doesn't mean that they won't, but statistically, the way how big these channels are, with the algorithms deciding, not everyone can see everything. They have to decide. It's kind of should be a big part of your marketing, but social media is hard to hang a hat on, is the thing. In 2008, when you made a post on your Facebook page and 90% of your followers saw it, you could hang your hat on that. That was awesome. But now everything is, it's getting so big. Instagram's so big, everything's huge. However, email is still left there, and that is the direct connect. People are looking and scanning at email on mobile devices all day long. And when you create an opportunity for someone to join your list, and then you start connecting with them in an authentic way, looking good, feeling good, good branding, clean, clear messaging, mobile friendly, boom. You've got that marketing direct connect that you might be longing for. I know that after talking to thousands of businesses throughout that network, SBC network, and I travel around between states too, especially pre-COVID, and I would go to all these different chapters and the SBC offices, and would do these presentations, and people would come up and they would say, and afterwards they would say, they'd have a line, and people would come up and talk to me, and they would tell me their question or their problem, and it was very much similar themes. I have limited resource. Where should I be spending my time with online? How do I make sure people are seeing my stuff? I'm underwhelmed by the response I'm getting. And so a lot of times I would say, well, what's going on? And they would say, well, I'm doing this huge Instagram thing, but I'm learning it as I go. And it was like everything was hanging on this social channel or, some other channel. And I would look at their email, and they either weren't doing a lot of email marketing, or it was sort of just every once in a while, and it was just sales focused. And it was they were kind of like, I don't know, maybe. But again, the tragic comedy of that is that this is the way to communicate with people, have them opt in, and then start a conversation that you can continue to have on the internet with them over time. Hey, Mary, that's wild. Sylvan Sport, yeah, I know them well. I mean, they're in my chamber. I mean, we do our chamber website here. They're in our small business center network. Sylvan Sport, I just saw him at the chiropractor. See, that's cool that you came down and did business with Chris. What a neat company. They have these lightweight camping setups and rigs, and super light aluminum, and they have a huge new building here in the corner of our town. Sonia, I'm not sure when I'm in Kentucky, but I just bought an RV, so it's about to get crazy. So let's get into it, y'all. I need to get to the demo. I'm talking too much, but I wanted to underscore for you, this isn't just a marketing idea. This should be very much a baseline component of what you're doing for your marketing, okay? So, this is an old stat. I look at mine, and Constant Contact will report this to you. My open rate on mobile is more like 70%, with 30% on desktop. So keeping that in mind, things to email: newsletters, announcements, promotions, fundraisers, sales, events, seasonal letters, PR updates. But I'll tell you what's more effective than all of these things. And it's completely counterintuitive to the business hat wearing person, the bottom line person that we are when we're planning out our goals and executing our goals. It's counterintuitive, because the most powerful thing you can put on social media and into emails are just pieces of content that you think people will enjoy objectively. that they'll have fun with it, or it'll touch them or inspire them, or they'll just think it's curious or interesting, or, oh, that's valuable, some spark that gives them an impression, and then they move on. Those touches are how you build engagement rapport with a list, social following, and email. Well, the problem is that newsletters a lot of times, and maybe some of these promotions and things that we want to send out, maybe this becomes our focus too much. People start to get social media posts about promoting what we do over and over. They start to get emails that seem the same concept, same reminder, this sale's going on. And then maybe another sort of re-announcing of something similar. And they sort of just think subconsciously, this isn't interesting. They might like you and nothing about you, but just as far as what they're paying attention to on their phone or on their device at home, I mean, then that's what it comes down to. We want their attention and we want their engagement, right? So Constant Contact gives you a clean and easy interface, for sure the easiest I've ever found, to build emails, to manage a list, to grow a contact list, and to understand, which is critical, whether you're doing a good job. Gives you reporting that you can understand and read. In this case, we've got opportunities to do things we never were able to do before. You can connect your images right through social media so they're ready for you to use in an email without extra steps. You can use stock photography that's built into Constant Contact and lets you use it without having to pay. You can share your emails onto social media. How about that? Anyone ever done that? In fact, let me take this opportunity as I get ready for the demo. Let me ask you all, of the folks here today, how many of you have done email marketing in the past or are doing it now? And I'm just asking that loosely. Don't qualify whether you think it's good or how long it's been. Not yet, but you're learning. Right on, Sonia. Sonia, I remember you. You were on the last one too. God bless you. You share it to Facebook every time, Jill. You pro. That's awesome. So you make see, this is the thing, y'all. You can grow your email list through social media as well. I'd like to teach, have your email lists feeding people to your social following, and have your social following be constantly made aware that they can join your email list, and have your emails sent out as pieces of content online. Because look what's up here at the top. Actually, this is a bad screenshot, but there's a spot up here at the top on the normally shared version where that says join this list, and there's a box that people get to just type in their email and subscribe. So in some cases, I've had people say, I can't figure out how I'm getting these new subscribers. And it's, in some cases, it's really cute because, the person doesn't understand tech very well. And, they come to the boot camp and they come to one of these and they set up their system to do these things. And they're like, wow, 7 people subscribed. And I said, well, you've been sharing your email to social media. And a few people have shared your email link, and people are reading your email as a web post and subscribing. And they're like, what do I do next? And I said, have some tea. This is awesome. This is great, cool stuff that we, maybe haven't been able to do 10 years ago in email marketing. You can publish it now, later, multiple times, add your own headlines, etc. What I want to focus on during the demo is you'll notice the email builder is really geared heavily more toward a single column approach. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to build your emails only in a single column, but what it does mean is that if the emails are condensed to a device, it's going to stack as needed your sections to give that mobile experience. It's not going to create a scenario where somebody has to zoom in, scroll. That's the kind of the definition of mobile friendly and mobile responsive. You want what they're reading and looking at to fit properly to the device, but you also want it to be good and easy for the user. You want them to be able to see big font clearly without having to strain. The content should be stacked and flowing in a way that makes sense when they're scrolling through. And so Constant Contact and any good platform can and will do that for you when you're building your email and when you look at your finished product too. Less text is more. Now, this is one of the best things. Over time, mobile has become so used that people are looking at scanning and glancing at their devices in short bursts. What this means is that short emails get the most engagement. Well, that's great news, because most small businesses come up to me after the seminars and they go, or they email me and they say, I'm so stressed. I'm worried about my ideas. I need to come up with ideas and I have a newsletter due and all this. Well, now you can kind of chuck that idea if you want to, and you can just start sending out 1-topic emails or 2-topic emails every couple of weeks, boom. And they respond better to that, y'all, because everyone's on these devices scanning and glancing in short bursts. So less text is more, larger fonts are better, single column is good. And notice this picture at the top. This is what's called the featured image approach. And this should be used across all your digital marketing. Your website pages should have a big, juicy images that give serious clues, if not messaging, about what is on that page. Emails, big featured image that starts to explain and tell without them having to work for it what the content is about. Same thing for social media. Featured image with your social post is what draws people in. This is due to mobile. We're scanning and we're glancing on our devices for images. And then secondly, for any large identifying text like headlines. So let's put this together and see it live. During the demo, I'm going to take you through 4 things. We're going to go through how to build an email, how to manage your list, how to grow the list, because it doesn't matter if you're just emailing the same people over and over for eternity, right? You want to know how to grow that thing, and how to gauge your success without technical analysis. I should have put in parentheses, without all of this is understanding that the goal is not to become some super techie, okay? So I'm going to switch my screen over here and I'm going to log into Constant Contact. And if you in the chat box, if you all would give me a shout to let me know that you can see my screen as I'm logging in. All right, thank you all. Thank you. So this is what happens. Does anybody use Constant Contact already? Give me a holler in the chat there if you wouldn't mind. Jill, you do? David, you do? Okay, awesome. Anyone else happen to use Constant Contact? Doesn't matter if you do or don't yet. I'm just curious. Okay, cool. Not yet. Okay, got it. And I don't have to have these answers. I'm just curious. And I'm sure some of you are enjoying your lunch and you're like, let's just get on with it. So let's just jump in. So when you log into Constant Contact, just a couple things. First of all, your splash page here is going to show you a history of recent activity and even a quick report card of how it did. Open rate and click rate. Open rate is obvious. It's % of people that you sent it to that opened. Click rate is really actually the real honey you're going for in the jar, because the click rate is then people open the email, but then they engage the email. They're touching content, they're opening things, they're going places. Who knows what could happen, right? We want those clicks. So open rate is sort of your win number 1, and then click rate is your win number 2. So it's going to show you your recent emails and just give you a little bit of this. What we're going to do is first jump into the email builder. I'm going to click create, and I'm going to see all this stuff pop up, because over the years, Constant Contact has sort of been the leader in small business digital marketing services, and they have built out other things. Social media managers in here, social media poster. You can build ads in here. There's an event manager in here. There's surveys, polls, landing page builder. There's even a gosh darn website builder with e-commerce. which they launched sadly 2 weeks before COVID. And so they've actually just turned that on for free for everybody. They were originally going to charge it $30 a month or whatever. So website is now free for anyone who uses Constant Contact, in case that excites you. But I'm going to click email because this is the basic here. We're going to click email. Now there's 3 ways to start creating an email. But spoiler alert, any email you've ever created or sent or used or drafted can be copied from. So spoiler alert, this is way easier to do than most people realize. Because the idea is that you want to create an email that looks and feels like your branding, synchronized with your branding. And then you want to make it short, simple, sweet, visually appealing, and send that thing. And then you can copy from past emails. So what might seem like this technical process that could take hours legitimately could take minutes if you do this properly. So, but for today, to show you, from the demo side of things, we're going to create an email from scratch. So there's 3 ways to do that. Number 1, you can come in here and you will see a lot of templates pre-cooked and ready to start with, and they're all editable. So you can see here, there's 4th of July, they've got it teed up for us, baby. I mean, look at these, there's like 10. Juneteenth, awesome. Spring sale, anniversary. And you can choose from any of these, and man, there are so many. Almost too many. Not afraid to say that. Also, they also break down by industry. So maybe you're not going to go by a holiday or whatever, but maybe, yeah, there's, pet industry, crafters, restaurants, bike stores, teachers. You get the gist. There's tons, y'all. You can also go up here to the top and just search keywords if you wanted. You could say Christmas. So you don't have to go through all 1 million. Okay. Way number 2 to generate an email is these blank ones here. These are kind of cool starting points. You can see they're called, these are grayscale wireframes. They give you sections that are pre-cooked. You can edit these, add stuff. It's kind of like a paint by numbers, okay? However, way number 3 is the coolest. If you go up here and you click on brand templates, let me go back. Right up here at the top, brand templates. And by the way, you saw custom code next to there. If anyone on here happens to be someone who would ever need your emails to be generated with custom coding, that's available. Now check it out. What I can do is type in my website and hit enter, and it's scanning my website for my colors, my style, and voila. How cool is this? On the left over here, I can choose different layouts. And look, it's pulled from my website, which is this. It did that. Boom. Pretty sweet, huh? I mean, talk about not technical. I copied and pasted a website. I've got some e-commerce folks that do this, and they do products. And you can come down here and change your color theme, update your social media buttons. But again, this is just a starting point. So let's do this. And I'm going to click on Continue. Now, again, this is for demo purposes. I'm just getting started with an email just to get you here to the builder. Now, check this out. What I love about Constant Contact is it has been designed from day one, 25 years ago when they started this. It was designed to be a way for people to create emails and connect with their lists without being techies. So ease of use was like required as they generated this platform. And over the years, there's been iterations of Constant Contact taking place, just like any software company. This year, or a few years ago, rather, they put out this version of the builder, and it is astonishingly easy. So what I love is there's only one screen. There's no editing screens, sections, building it in different places. I know that with some software that I need to use for my clients that don't use Constant Contact, I have to use other software as a marketer. I have to be well versed in all that. And I know that it's way harder to build and generate emails and manage them in other systems than Constant Contact. So, ease of use is top of the list. There's one screen here, and what you can see here is in the top left, you've got a way to name the email. This is just your name. It's not the subject line. This is just for you to see. But then if you kind of move the cursor and scroll through the email, you're going to see, if you look closely, these blue outlines popping out that tell you what section you're on top of. And if you were to click, boom, you just go right into edit mode. There's no leaving the screen. It's in real time. What you see is what you get, WYSIWYG editor. So you can scroll through and click at any point and edit. So for example, if I wanted to click on this logo, I can change the size by holding the arrow and dragging. I can change the where it's linked to. I definitely want to do that. Have it go to my website. Oh, it's being fussy. Okay, I can add a picture. Any of the pictures that I have in my library that I've ever used will always be there for next time if I want to use them again. Hey, I think Froggy's Popcorn is out where you all are. And they have a really cool brand. I was helping them out. I think they're out in Louisville. So we can do pictures. If you don't have a picture, we have the white squirrels here. No joke, we have a white squirrel festival too. But I can click upload file and add pictures by clicking that link, browsing my computer, or I can drag and drop. Sorry, it's a little slow. Okay. I'm going to change this to be something a little more relevant. You know, like for instance, if I was going to send you all a copy of the PDF, I would add that. Done. Thanks for joining me at yesterday's webinar. Below is the presentation for you to keep. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, and then maybe I would move this up. You can move whole sections by just checking out the side tab there with the arrow and holding it. And it's very intuitive. You know, when I click and hold, everything turns. You can see what's happening the moment you touch it. The blue bar is telling you where you're going. If you release. And then maybe it makes sense to have my button down here. Okay. Now check this out. Yeah, Froggies, popcorn, Sonia. Yeah. Tell them I sent you. Okay, so that's just some just quick and dirty, you know, clicking around, editing things, changing things. You can add links to buttons, change the text. But how do you know, really manage and build the email? So what I want you to do is kind of glance over to the left corner here. And you've got a little building block kit. And the things that are served up first are what they know statistically where people spend about 90% of their time. So you can click and hold image and see this purple line is showing you if you release, that's where it's dropping. Inside there, no, along the side to make it a 2-column, you know, single column is a good start. So there we go. Okay. Text, boom. Oh, I dropped it a little bit to the left. So what do I do? Now check this out. You can undo and redo at the top here, in the top middle, undo, redo. So you literally can't break it. You can't do anything wrong that you can't undo and redo. It's like bumper bowling. So text, boom, button, boom. And then dividers are needed to, if you have multiple items, you want to space them out, you can make them solid, dashed, big, small, thin, wide. And space. We do need space. And you can add spacers and then click this little grab bar and hold it. And you can use your cursor to make it big or small, up to you. You can, you know, add other spacers. Sometimes I'm just lazy to add a bunch. Okay. And you've got more. Social media, pre-cooked. Done. You can edit it. You can add networks. I do a lot of Pinterest these days for clients. And for my wife searching for endlessly for new horse breeds to want. Twitter. Okay. And video. Now, if you have a Vimeo video or a YouTube video, super easy to go in here and just add the link. Let's see what comes up. We'll find something fun. Wow, this looks cool. I've seen this video before. I'm going to copy that link, paste it, and do nothing else. It even makes a thumbnail for me. Check that out. Video is the #1 most engaged format of content on the internet. #1. Social media, website, email, video is #1. Now, sometimes you may not want it to go to YouTube. You may want it to open on your website. You can just take a screenshot of that video and just put it in as a picture and link them to that page. I do that a lot too. These middle blocks, you can ignore these. It's not really for today. These are more advanced. But then down in the bottom left, you can actually add sections as well. See? Multiple column, newsletter-ish type stuff. Very cool. Coupons. This is a nice little bar. You can create a grid of links if you wanted to have these match, your website name, for instance, home, about, services, events, contact, or for any other reason you might need a table. You can services, events. Yeah. This is actually the, will sound weird to say this, but this is the coolest edition of the year. Because in this drag and drop builder, it's very difficult to create an editable grid that has these tiny subsections. And, but it's needed. So what I can do is bring this up to the top. And I wanted to put this at the top of my, oh, well, I guess I deleted my logo. Okay, we'll put this at the top. Now I could just undo the heck out of all those things I've added if I wanted to, but we can delete too. If I can go over here to the right panel, hit this gear, I can duplicate entire blocks, which is outrageously cool. You can actually come up with a whole idea, y'all, and then see whether you like it by copying it and trying your other idea and then deleting the one you don't like. So, sometimes people are like, I'm not sure if it's going to be good. Do 2 ideas real quick and then check them out. It's so easy to get rid of these extras. You can backfill these with the paint can. That's for any section, by the way. See? Oh, there's the logo. Yes, we can get rid of this. We have that already. We've got this. Don't need this. Don't need this. All right, now we're getting somewhere. And then you can just copy and paste your links. Now, I would also want to use my branding colors here. So I'm going to go to green as well. And you can see that since I've used these branding colors that it found from me by reading my website, look, they're ready for me. I don't have to go find them. If I wanted to be very dramatic, I could backfill this. Remember, bigger font now. So none of this, 10, 12 anymore. You want to go 14, 16, 18, 20. Because people will have to strain. And the shorter emails, bigger font is fine. Feels a little better. Okay, so obviously this is nothing special, but the functionality is what I'm getting, how to click around, how to do stuff quickly and easily. You can link web page or for it to open an email, open a PDF. I also want to make sure that you understand the importance of buttons. Calls to action and buttons are the key to getting marketing results. And yet so many businesses sort of just announce things. And because logically, the audience would be able to figure out if they thought about it, what they should probably do next. What we got to understand is that's not the way marketing works in the digital world on smartphones. We need to be told what to do next and given a big visual, clear, chunky button that's easy to see that we can put our thumb on and take an action. If you do a call to action and a button that matches it, and you put that below any marketing piece, engagement through the roof. Sounds kind of silly. That's that easy, but I guarantee it is absurdly through the roof when you do that. So you might think by explaining this whole fundraiser, someone would be able to defer or infer that they should go to the website and do something. However, if you put, don't hesitate, support us now, let's make a difference, and then a button, click here to donate now. It's wild, but that actually creates David found Froggy's popcorn. Man, now I want to be like eating it too, like eating popcorn, like at the movies. Although I'm not that interesting, I'm sure. But anyway, buttons should be not bright, but they should err on the side of clear colors that are clear and catching to the eye. This black button, or this brown button, this dark gray. These are probably not good. I'd probably go with that, or my brands. That's a nice attention getter. Add a little breathing room. And you can use this if you want. These are just starting points, so they're as editable and as easy as you would like for them to be. What I do like is in the top here, you can have a check for errors. Oh man, I got an F on this sucker. See, it knows that I've added a bunch of links and not added. See that? It highlights it for me. It says, come on, Aaron, you can do it. Go here, go here. See where it highlights? Go here. Missing a link on the button too. Okay. Well, let's see if I added this. Insert. Look, there it goes. It went green, so we're good. So imagining that I got all of that corrected, you can do a test version on desktop and mobile. You see it on a phone, and you can send it to up to 5 addresses. A lot of people that come to these events put me on their list. I'm happy to be on your list, and you can send me, what do you think of this? And I'm no strings attached. I will just let you know, here, do this, that, and the other, and you're good. And now when you hit continue, there's only one other screen in the whole email builder, and it's all about when to send it. You can select to send it to all of your lists, one of your lists, some of your lists, segments, which are even more substructured, groups of people that have taken an action or not taken an action. It's a little advanced for today. You can send the email now, you send it later. And then let me point out right here in the middle is my favorite, resend to non-openers. This lets the system automatically resend the email only to the people who didn't open it when you sent it originally. So the average open rate 5 or 6 years ago on emails was about 30%, maybe 25. That has dipped down because of how many emails everyone gets. Now the average is 18%. However, if you do automatic resend to non-openers, you've got a situation where the email gets auto sent 3 or 4 days later to the people who didn't open it the first time. You're not bothering anyone who's already seen it and opened it. A lot more people open the resend, your open rates go up past average from 18 to 20 to 25. In some cases, my clients, they get back up to 30% open rate with the second automatic resend. And you can be cute with the subject line if you want to here, but this is a big tip. Automatic resend to non-openers, because we're getting so many emails that even if someone subscribes to your list, how do we make sure they don't miss your email, right? So there we go. Let me pivot over here to the top left, and you can start dropping questions into the chat if you have unanswered questions so far. But let me show you how to build the list and grow the list, and also look at reporting. So number one, in the upper left, you can see campaigns, which is just a fancy word for emails. And remember, I said we can click more and we can copy any past email once you've done one. But then we've got contacts. Contacts is all your list, your database. You can have as many lists as you want. So you might have one master list. Then you might start building sub lists, customers, prospects, referrals, interested but hasn't bought yet. You might start chopping it up a little bit and getting some target marketing going so that you're not doing this sort of one and done marketing to everyone in the world. I can't tell you how it made me feel years ago, because I'm still talking about it, obviously, so clearly I know how it made me feel. I went and bought this really expensive piece of furniture, and I opted into their email list at the same time. And the next day I got an email announcing the sale on that item to me. And this is, expensive. And I thought, man, is their marketing just on total autopilot or what? Like that you don't want people being paying attention to what they're doing, what they like, what they've already spent money on. So, segmenting your list and organizing it this way gives you opportunities to treat people better, make the marketing more relevant to them. But within these lists, you can add contacts. You can type them in. You can put a bunch in at once and copy and paste chunks of them in. I just did this from a Word document. Someone sent me a whole big chunk of emails, pasted them in, and it separated them all for me. That was awesome. You can upload from a list. So here we go, upload from file. And this you can actually go and it will read the spreadsheet if you drop it in. And it will look at the information in the rows, and it will try to help you decide, put it in first name, last name. Now this happens to be a random spreadsheet of financial stuff, so it's gobbledygook. But if you have one that has name and email at the top or the middle, it'll actually link up the column for you. You don't have to do anything, and then continue, and you choose what list you want. Okay, go back. This also adds your contacts from integrations. existing accounts that you already have, including Google, Gmail, smartphone apps, profile, you might have a CRM, you might have a software that runs your business, could easily synchronize and just automatically copy so that your email list is being built on autopilot as you do business. You can also go here to sign up forms is what I meant to say, and click. This is a way to make sure that you're building your email list from your website. I can tell you without a doubt, the number one complaint I get from people about their marketing attempts are, I don't get that much web traffic, but then when I do get the web traffic and they don't take any action, I can't follow up with them. It's like, I can see Google Analytics saying I'm getting 80 people a day to the website and they're not buying. And now what do I do next? Well, number one, I got to tell you all, most people don't buy when they first look. In fact, almost no one buys when they first look. So what they need is a taste. They need an opportunity to get closer to you. They need you to do some sort of piece of value from you. This is how you can offer an opportunity for your web visitors to join your email list. Then the other problem is solved because now you have a way to follow up with them. And as David and I were pointing out almost an hour ago when we started, it's the most sort of direct connect for the money. It's boom. So, I can't follow up with people from my website. Your website should be an email list building machine, but not in a spammy way, in a value driven way. How can you give them a taste? Download this foreword to the book, 20% off your first purchase. Here's a free video series on how to do this, that, or the other with our product. Angles that you're giving people going, we understand you may want to go on a date before we get married. Let's enjoy and try this out and test our product and join our list. And then you send them an email that matches what they're expecting. Boom. It's like this rapport starts that you're really hungry for as a small business. But again, too many times it's, emails, sales emails, posts on social media saying the same thing. And they see this and it's like, it's not a matter of whether they like your company or your product. It's a matter of the marketing starts to turn them away where you want it to pull them in. And so this is critical. So your website, this allows you to create sign-up forms, pop-ups that don't bother them again, by the way, after they turn them off, opportunities to join your list for this, that, and the other. And I can make recommendations too, depending on your website. Feel free to email me on how to integrate this. Lastly, check out reporting. Reporting is super cool. You can choose to sift and sort this any direction. For instance, I can come in here and I can compare the last sort of informational emails that I sent. And it gives me what kind of device, open rates, click rates, how many unsubscribed, the whole gamut. A good open rate would be anything over 18%, which is the average, and a good click rate is anything at 10% or higher. So I would always say, if you're really reaching for the stars, go for a 30% open rate, go for a 20% click rate and build that list and keep segmenting it. Since you can send certain emails to certain lists and leave the rest, for later with things that are more relevant to them. And you'll start to read these reports and you'll start to see, better open rate, better click rate. Now check this out. You can even see who opened it. And what they clicked to get a full report of every piece of content and how good it was to your readers. There they are. There's your openers. You can go back to, you can see who's your clickers. You can see who's unsubscribed. You can see who's bounced. Take them out of your database if you want to. There's nothing technical. I mean, this is a total, romper room, easy to read. heat map even shows you your emails, visually speaking. There's an email I did about what I just said, which is how to generate subscribers. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to keep my eye here on the chat on the right. I don't see any new questions. So I've sort of been taking my time finishing up, but I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to shift back over here and show you all a couple things. The SBC has an opportunity ongoing with Constant Contact through their partnership to get a discount on Constant Contact forever, but also to get a whole bunch of other freebies. So it started out with just the discount, and then we started building this bonus package over the past 5 years. So you'll actually get Constant Contact is $20 a month, and the SBC promo means 25% off. But then we also will do a free branded email template. And I don't mean just typing in your website using the auto brander. We actually have designers go and build a template in there you can keep copying from. And then free coaching session with me, one-on-one, where I can help you answer your marketing questions, no strings attached. That's free. And as I mentioned, Constant Contact did roll out that free or that new website builder last year, and then now they're ceasing to charge for it. So if for any reason you have need of building a website or landing pages, that's in there. If you already use Constant Contact, I know a few of you do, you have an opportunity to take advantage as well. You can do this anytime. I'm going to cut it off here because that's not what today's about, but you can do this anytime at claimeventpromo.com. And this, we just track that you were in. We're easily able to see that you were here today and where you signed up, and we will get you $14 a month, Constant Contact, no contracts, free email templates, free coaching, all the help that the SBC, Constant Contact, and myself could possibly muster up to help you. Because I know that, over the years, we've probably all been to a lot of PowerPoints, and you just want to make sure that you can apply it. And so for a couple bucks, we can not only get you started, but do it with you with the free coaching. So happy to help. Claimeventpromo.com if you want to do that. And then also let me drop in here my website where you can send me questions if you ever want to. And I am going to also send the presentation to Janet and David so they can share it. But in the chat is my website. And if you were to see my website, you'll notice there's a little chat box in the bottom right that will come up, and you can send me a message anytime, anything you didn't think to ask. There you go. And more than happy to help. And lastly, here's my email address. I will turn it back over to you. Yes, Marshall, the PowerPoint is available. Kim has a question. I don't want to skip Kim's question. How do you prevent Constant Contact from hitting the spam filters? Well, just the fact that you're using an email platform like Constant Contact means you have the best shot. All the platforms struggle with it. Constant Contact does the best with about a 90% deliverability. For my few clients that still struggle with their Constant Contact emails that go to spam, and it's not many, but I do have a few, we typically put a little thing at the top or at the bottom that says, be sure not to miss any of our emails. Whitelist us by adding our address to your inbox, to your contact list. And typically that just means there's a button on almost all my emails that says add to contact, save to contact. So we've got one of my corporate trainers who's constantly getting emails sent off by companies, networks, inundating them and sending them to spam. It's like, they need those. So we put a little thing and they just go add to contacts. And then all of Jesse's emails come through the company server fine. So that's just one solution. You're welcome, Kim. I know it's a little frustrating. Marshall, we can get that to you. You're welcome, Sonia. Anyone have any other closing questions? We're about 5 minutes over, so I'm going to give it back to David.
Aaron, thank you so much for that. And just as a reminder, we will be sending you the slides and a link for the replay so you can watch Aaron as many times as you like. And And I highly encourage you to reach out because he's a great resource and has some good offers, and he's a resource that we tap into all the time here. So if I don't see any other questions either, so thanks everybody for showing up today. Aaron, thank you so much as always for supporting us and all you do to the small business community. It's great. And we hope to see you again next time. We'll have you back soon, no doubt. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.